All right, I'm back. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, y'all will join me in a moment, but it looks like all systems are go. Good day, good day, good day. Welcome to Morning Sip with Red Melissa. I am Red Melissa. SIP stands for Spirit and Practice, where we practice because practice makes progress. And I think we have made some progress today. So, we are in a new series that started yesterday that was inspired by our series last week, Anesthesia, a Spiritual Perspective. And I decided to keep going with the spiritual perspective. And so yesterday I shared a parable, the parable of the empty boat, which is a Taoist parable. And so we're going to continue with that today as a way to illustrate the importance and the power of perspective. So perception and perceptive, or you could say perceptive and perspective, are closely related. So my perception is how I take something in. That's the origin of the word, how I take something in. Perspective is to look at closely. So how am I looking at this? From what level of consciousness am I looking at myself, other people, my podcast messing up today, all the things, right? The world. What level of consciousness am I looking at this from? So, when we think about perspective, it relates to, like I said, where you are looking from, and it is an invitation to practice looking at whatever it may be from a spiritual perspective, to look at it through your spiritual eyes. So I love parables, and I love Jesus the Christ. Most of his teachings was in parables. And the Taoists also teach a lot through the use of parables. And so yesterday, thank y'all. Thank you, Sekou. Thank you, Shay. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming back as well. So yesterday we talked about the parable of the empty boat. So today I want to share another parable. It is the parable of the mirror and the dust. Here it goes. A young student went to a Zen master, frustrated by the chaotic state of the world. Master, how can I change the world? It is full of anger, greed, and confusion. The master handed the student a dusty mirror and asked, "What do you see?" The student looked closely and said, "I see a blurry, dark reflection of myself and the room." The master took a cloth and thoroughly wiped the dust away from the mirror. He handed it back. "Now, what do you see?" he asked the student. The student replied, "I see everything clearly, exactly as it is." The master smiled. He said, "The world is not dirty. It is your mind that is covered in dust. Wipe away your own judgments, projections, and fears, and you will see the world's true nature." Here is the lesson. The world acts as a mirror to our internal state. When we clean up our internal perspective, our external reality automatically transforms. forms. I love this because many people today and before today look at the world and are fearful, angry, frustrated, disappointed by the state of our world. I know I am oftentimes feel frustrated, and feel disappointed. And I also know that this is not the way in which the world has to be. The world doesn't have to be this way. So, what can I shift? What can I shift? Because this whole world is made up of many worlds. I'm a whole world. I'm a whole world. You are a whole world. What can I shift within myself so that this whole world that I am representing is a whole world that I desire to see expanded in this larger world that we are all experiencing together? Because I can't change your world. I'm a whole world. You are a whole world. I can't change your whole world, but I could change my perspective about what I can change. Many people, and I speak to them almost every week, many people feel hopeless. And you know what I'm going to say next. It is so important that we feel our feelings, that we honor where we are, that we don't push away our feelings. And at the same time, it is also important that we care and are gentle and kind with ourselves as we go through our own unique processes. It's so important. And through that journey that could take however long that it takes, or it can take an instant or something in between, there is an opportunity for us to shift our perspective, for us to tap into that wellspring of wisdom that we all have access to see our own unique world from a higher perspective. And then to go out in this larger world and share this higher perspective by our actions, by being kind and loving, by having a higher regard for each other. And we could simply start with those who are closest to us, our neighbors, whoever we interact with. We could start by simply volunteering. We could start by seeing people who are often unseen in our world. We can be the ones to dust off the mirror in our own unique way by sharing our gifts. Our gifts are a way in which we can use to shift and dust the mirror. So, my question to you is, are you willing to dust off your mirror? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to shift your perspective from what we physically see with our physical eyes and raise your vibration through your spiritual practice, by reaching out for support, by prayer, by meditation, by going out in the world, literally going out in the world and making a difference in the way in which you can uniquely make a difference through your unique gift, whatever that might be. It matters. It matters so much. I'm thinking about my girls. They're working in a summer camp, and the ages range from 5 to 13, and they're both counselors. And Zola works with the little kids. They're called Red Robins. And they're about 5 to 7 or 8 years old. And there are a couple of them that have been labeled in their short, brief time on the planet. They have been labeled as bad, that they're bad kids. And this has been a concern for Zola. She'll come home and she'll tell me stories about different things that the children are doing. But more so, what disturbs her the most is one of the adults and how that adult interacts with the children that have been labeled as bad. She'll yell at them. She'll do consequences like they can't participate in an activity because her perspective about them is that they're bad. And Zola shared with me the other day that she told this adult who's older than she is, she's probably closer to my age, she told her to please stop referring to the children as bad. What they're doing, their behavior may not be in alignment with what they would like for it to be, but they are not bad. So she told this to the woman to stop calling them bad. And she also shared with the woman to stop yelling at them, especially this one little boy that my daughter believes is on the spectrum. And there's ways in which he can settle in, right? When he starts to have what they refer to as an episode. The languaging around all of this is very a little disturbing for me, but they say he's having an episode. And what calms him, what centers him, is a purple number 9. Settles him. So all he needs to feel safe is his purple number 9. So Zola will make sure that he has it. One day, I don't know how I got all into this story, but one day they couldn't find his purple number 9, and he was really having a difficult time regulating himself. And so Zola asked him, was there something else that she could do, that she could get for him? And she said for a moment, he just was still having a really challenging time. And then he said, walk. So Zola said, so you want to go for a walk? He said, yes. So Zola took him for a walk, and he was able to regulate himself. Two very different perspectives about this one child. Zola chose to dust off the mirror and see his true nature. This grown woman who's closer to my age, instead of dusting off the mirror to see from a different perspective, she added more dirt to the mirror and added dirt to him. So in each interaction throughout our days, we may find that we have the opportunity to dust off the mirror, And the dusting starts with how we see ourselves. Because how we see ourselves, how we regard ourselves, how we think about ourselves, how we care for ourselves gets projected out into the world. Whew. Well, that took a turn, didn't it? But this is what we get to do. These are ways that we get to be the action of love. So hear me now, I'm not making that woman wrong. I just believe it's a really good demonstration of the conscious choices that we can make, and that each one of us plays a role in that. So I think that's all I'm going to say today. Let me check in with y'all. Hey, yes, say cool. Yes, this purple number 9. It's a little foam purple number 9 that is his safe space. And yeah, Zola is strong. She is. And whew, I'm so grateful that she is there. And she specifically requests to be with the little ones, the little kids. Ari is with the older kids, I think they're like 11 to 13. But Zola loves being with the little ones. And she just loves on them. She just loves on them. So I'm really grateful for that. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful today. Peace and blessings. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace and blessings. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy from a higher perspective. Yes. I'll see you tomorrow.